All right, let's jump in. Thank you again for joining our webinar today, where we're going to talk about speed to lead and how it can be a tremendous competitive advantage for your clinic. And so, really excited to walk you through this and, hopefully help your clinic, stand out and be tremendously different than your competitors. Real quick, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kade Wilcox. I'm the CEO of Boost Patients. Just a little bit about me. I currently live in Lubbock, Texas with my family, beautiful wife, Lacey, my 14-year-old daughter, Sayla, my 12-year-old son, Case, and been a lifelong West Texan, and really just love being here. Love running and doing sauna with my family. We have a really nice barrel sauna. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Maybe you've listened to the Huberman podcast and you're obsessed with it as well. So love doing that as a family every evening. I've helped build several businesses. I am somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. Most of my background is in digital marketing, but I've owned a payroll company, financial services company, a janitorial service company, all kinds of different businesses. So I absolutely love business. And our team out of this one, it is very true. I do not like vegetables. Give me all the meat and I am happy. So here's another photo of my family, and here's our incredible leadership team here at Boost. Maddie on the left, Jonah right there next to him. They founded the company 7 years ago. Liam, our director of client services, and see several of our clients on this call. All of our clients love Liam, and then myself. So just a few quick housekeeping things. We'd love to connect with you. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can connect with us on social media. You can subscribe to our podcast, the Patient Conversion Podcast, and we do monthly webinars, which but we'd love for you to continue to join us here. Another really cool thing about Boost, and a lot of people don't know this, is we have in-person masterminds. And so if that's something you're interested in, shoot me an email. But we get together in person for our masterminds. And as you can see in this room, they're really well attended. People love to be connected, love to meet in person, and love to talk about the business of their practice. So this room is filled with both practice managers and physicians. And so our masterminds, if it's something you're interested, let us know. As a part of the mastermind kind of program, we also do regular Zoom workshops. This is one we had about a month ago, and really just great turnout, really good discussions. We are not talking the whole time. We're facilitating the conversation, but in this photo here, there's multiple practice managers, there's multiple physicians, and they're literally talking about things that they're experiencing in their practice, things that are going well, things that are not going well. And so it's a really great kind of dynamic, collaborative environment. And then lastly, over the last 7 years, since 2018, we've worked with 90 plus surgeons and practice admins in their clinics doing new lead patient follow-up. So we've been doing this a while and have really seen everything at this point. We have followed up with hundreds of thousands of leads. When you take all the clients that we've worked with over this time. And then, as I just mentioned, love our mastermind program and our online workshops. And again, if that's something you're interested, please let us know. So you might be asking, I wonder if I'm, at the right webinar. Should I be here? Who is this webinar for? And it's anyone in these particular roles. These are all different types of clinics and individuals in the clinics that we work with. You're a private practice, elective surgery rather. Maybe you're a surgeon, practice manager, office admin, patient coordinator. Maybe you're in marketing. We work with a lot of marketing coordinators at our clinics. And then we also work with some private equity groups. And so maybe you're a part of one of those. So anywhere on this list and you're in the right spot. Maybe you're on this call and you're wondering why you're on this call. You're probably looking for something like this. You want more patients, right? That's really what drives the conversations when we're meeting with potential clinics, with potential partners, is at the end of the day, what they really care about is increasing the number of consults and growing their surgery volume, their patient volume. And so maybe that's one of your desires. You want the right type of patients, or you want to scale your practice, help more people, hire another surgeon, take more there really are things connected to growing your practice. Some of the things that maybe you've heard, as a practice admin, or maybe someone in marketing, or maybe you're a physician, and you're trying to think about how to grow your practice. And these are some things that you've probably heard, and actually some things we're going to kind of challenge in our webinar this afternoon. Maybe you've heard, well, you just need to spend more money on digital ads. That your real problem of growing your surgery volume is you're not spending as much as you need to on digital ads. So maybe you've heard that before. Or maybe you've said this to your marketing agency before: glad we're getting all these leads, but I'm not seeing any more patients. In fact, this happened about a month ago. We were partnering with a marketing agency who was serving this clinic, and they were generating literally hundreds of leads a month. And the physician kept coming to them saying, hey, I'm getting all these leads, but my surgery volume is not increasing. And the agency, of course, their job is to generate the leads, not follow up with the leads. And when they really dug into it, the reality was the clinic wasn't following up with the leads. And so this might be something that you've heard. And if so, then this is a webinar, and what we're going to show you is for you. I feel like patients are slipping through the cracks. We hear this all the time, whether it's a practice admin or a patient coordinator or a physician saying, hey, we're really concerned that we're getting these leads and they're falling through the crack. Our team is busy. We don't have the right systems and processes or technology set up, and we're concerned we're losing these opportunities. And then, like we said, you really have a desire to generate more leads, convert more leads into consults, and increase your high value surgical patients. Stick around at the end, and there's a slide, and you can shoot me an email with just a subject line PDF in it, and we'll send you our book that literally walks you through an entire program on how you can increase the number of consults you're getting, so turning your leads into patients. And then also something that we'll do for you is we'll mystery shop your website, and we'll actually go into this here more in a little bit, but this is something really cool that we do, and we're more than happy to do it for you. All right, so there are three things that we're going to cover over the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. Here are the three big things that we want to share with you and for you to take away from this webinar. Number one is, what is the big message? Number two, top three myths about speed to lead. And then third, very practically, how to fix your speed to lead problem. So we're just going to show you the program. You absolutely could implement it on your own if you're willing to invest the time and the money and the energy and the staff. And so we're going to kind of give you a very basic playbook to fix that problem. All right, so here's the big message. You don't have a marketing problem, you have a follow-up problem. We have talked to hundreds of clinics, and oftentimes the easy target to complain about or to think you have a problem with is the marketing. And we fundamentally believe that you very likely don't have a marketing problem. Now, if you're not investing at all in a marketing partner who's helping you with your messaging and your positioning and your website and your SEO and your email marketing and your social and your ads and things like that, then maybe you do have a marketing problem. But the vast majority of clinics we talk to, the majority, are investing really good money into their marketing, and yet they're unsatisfied with their number of consults and surgeries. And so it's easy to say we have a marketing problem. And we would say it's not your agency's fault or problem. It's actually a follow-up problem. You have a leaky bucket. And the reality is, this is most of your clinics right now. You spend thousands of dollars a month on your marketing to generate your new patient leads. They funnel into the clinic only to be just like this leaky bucket. They're falling through the cracks. You're not maximizing the new patient leads coming into your practice. And we just know this so definitively. As I shared, we do a lot of mystery shopping. In fact, we just completed a project about a month ago where we mystery shopped 700 clinics, just under 700. It's like 694. And the results were abysmal. So we don't just think this is a problem. We see it with all of our clients. We see it with all the prospects we talk to, and we mystery shop literally thousands of private practice clinics, and we see these results routinely. This is probably what your follow-up looks like, and this at times is pretty generous. Your clinic might call a new patient lead back. They may send an email. Something we notice a lot is that when a new patient lead will inquire about more information via your website or a landing page or however they're submitting their inquiry, is that they'll get an automated email that's not even personalized. It's very, very, very generic. So you may send an email. Your staff might call, not get them. They might follow up with them one more time. Most likely not. But this probably looks similar to what your follow-up looks like. And we're going to show you that that's a real challenge. This is just to visualize the point we're trying to make, which is you're burning your marketing dollars. You're spending thousands of dollars only for your new patient leads to fall through the cracks. You're wasting money. And I hate to be so direct, but that is the reality. You're investing in ads. Those ads are generating new patient leads, and you're not following up with them, and you're not turning them into patients. Here's some of the data. This is, again, just an example of a mystery shop. This happens to be a company that owns 32 clinics. So just look at this data here. So out of the 32 clinics we mystery shopped, 26 clinics never followed up at all. Not a phone call, not a text, not an email. They never followed up at all. The response time for the clinics that did follow up were after 12 hours, not near fast enough. Follow-up attempts, there was no second attempts. So of the handful of clinics that did reach out after 12 hours, it was only one time. Only one time. And then of all the clinics that did follow up, they only used one channel, which is also a challenge. And we're going to talk about that throughout the webinar. And again, we'll do this for you if you would like. So shoot me an email. Happy to have our team mystery shop your website and your lead follow-up process and to give you an idea of how you do it. You could also, do it yourself. Fill out your website contact us form. Say, hey, I'm interested in LASIK. What's the price? How do I set up a consultation? And then just, watch and kind of monitor what the follow-up is. So why does this problem exist? So let's say we all agree you have a follow-up problem. What are some of the things that we most commonly see in terms of why this exists? And here are a handful of things that we routinely see. Incoming calls are prioritized over online inquiries. And so what this really means is, and it's a function of this second bullet point here, is your team is prioritizing inbound calls because they're wearing 5 different hats and they're just responding to all these different things within your clinic. And so, the phone rings and they're doing the best they can to prioritize those. And so consequently, all your digital leads very rarely get followed up with effectively. And again, I think that's a function of the second bullet point. Your staff is wearing, too many hats. And so I don't know if it's every clinic, almost, in fact, I will tell you this. Every sales call I've had this year, I've only talked to one clinic who actually has a dedicated team responsible for new lead follow-up. One clinic. The vast majority of people, 99.999% of clinics, whoever is responsible for lead follow-up is wearing 5 different hats. They simply don't have the time to follow up with all the leads. Even if you're a low lead volume clinic, you're not getting very many leads, they still don't have enough time with all the other things you have them doing to follow up with the new leads. And so it's a real issue. Other common thing that we see is your team that is responsible for a follow-up lacks a sales mindset. And I mean, here's just the hard reality. There's likely no one in your clinic, no one in your office who wakes up in the morning and looks forward to having a sales conversation with a new patient lead. That's not what they're into. They're not salespeople. They don't want to have sales conversations. And candidly, they're not incentivized to have, those kinds of conversations. And this lack of sales mindset has a huge impact on your follow-up process, as well as the quality of conversation once the follow-up does happen. This is a real issue. Online inquiries require a different strategy. It just requires more touch points, more sophistication, more intentionality. again, we mystery shop so many websites and so many clinics. We see all kinds of digital, responses. And here are a couple of examples of the ones we see. Thank you for contacting us. We will get back to you in 1 to 2 business days. So mind you, this is someone who is reaching out to this clinic, and we're saying we're interested in refractive. We'd love to learn more about price and process. Like, we'd love to set up a consult. So we're raising our hand saying, hey, we want to come. We want to work with you. We have questions about a refractive, surgery. And this is the response they get. And I love this one on this particular forum. If you've not heard from us by then, please call us. So if we haven't called you in 2 days, even though you've said you want to work with us, please remember that we haven't responded to you and call us. So you've got to do better. The process has got to be more robust. And then another challenge we see is that marketing is visible and follow-up is invisible. And what I mean by that is, like, you can see a digital ad. You can see an email go out. You can tangibly touch your website. And oftentimes people don't think about follow-up because, one, there's not a designated person or team or accountability around follow-up, but also it's less tangible as your marketing assets and the things you're investing your marketing in. And so sometimes you can, often think that you oftentimes can think it's better than what it really is, which can be a real challenge because it is not very good, and all along you're thinking it is. And so again, the big message here is it's not a marketing problem. It's not a marketing problem. Your marketing agency, maybe they are doing bad work, I'm not for sure, but very, very likely it's not a problem of marketing. It's a function of not following up effectively. And just to kind of drive this home, let's say you're getting 200 leads online, 40 new patient consultations scheduled, so 20% of those 200 leads, and then 30 of those 40 consults become surgeries. And so most of the time people think, oh, we just got to get more online leads. We got to get more consultations. We need to drive up more surgeries. And what we're saying is probably not. Probably what you need to do is invest in your follow-up, maximize the leads you're getting. So go from 40 consults out of those 200 leads to bumping it to 50. So instead of 20% conversion, 25% conversion. And then out of those 50 new patient consults increased, get 38 surgeries versus 30. And so it's just a mindset shift that you don't have a marketing problem. Let's burn through more money on the marketing side. It's not about that. It's about looking at your follow-up and maximizing what you have. And so let's talk about the 6 principles of follow-up. 6 principles of follow-up. So one would be speed. So we want you responding within 5 minutes. Actually, our program responds within 60 seconds, but you need to be responding, within 5 minutes, and you need to do that 24/7. Persistence on our team, we call this joyful persistence, joyful follow-up. But you want to be persistent. Don't give up. Follow up for weeks and months at a time. I was showing you that chart of most clinics follow up. They'll follow up one time. If they don't hear from the new patient lead, they stop following up with that lead, and now that's a dead lead, and that's just not an effective strategy. So you want to be persistent. You want to use technology. You can't do follow up 100% manual. Your staff can't do that. You can't call them back enough times, to be effective. You just don't have the staff or the time. And more importantly, the way that the consumer makes decisions is multi-touch, meaning some people want a text message, some people want to deal via email, some people want a phone call. So you have to think through your technology and how you're communicating with your new patient leads. You got to recruit talent who loves being on the phone, who absolutely finds immense joy in connecting with a new patient lead, answering their questions, following up persistently. And so you got to have the right people. You got to do multiple channels. That's what I was mentioning a minute ago. You can't just rely on phone or email. You got to do all of it. And then organization. You got to track your touch points in a CRM software. You can see that if you're doing all this follow-up and you're following up with these new patient leads for weeks and months at a time, you got to have a good system and a good set of organizational, tools and systems and processes to be able to kind of manage that workload. And so you got to be organized. We call this our patient conversion system. Again, this is what we do for a living, but you can take all these things, implement it in your practice, and you're going to see, much, much, much better results. The speed is a big deal. One of the myths that we wanted to cover with you is I have 24 hours to respond. Or you might have saw that email a moment ago where they said, we'll get back to you in 1 to 2 days. It's not how it works. Here it is again. You simply cannot wait. You can't wait 12 hours, much less a full day or 2 days. We really believe after 5 minutes, the odds of connecting and qualifying with the lead drops 80%. 80%. And so you waiting a day or two is basically more or less completely eliminating your opportunity to capitalize on the interest of that new patient. If you contact a lead within the first hour, you're 7 times more likely to qualify the lead versus contacting them in 2 hours. Again, in 2 hours, it drops significantly. It basically goes away in terms of your opportunity 12, 24, 48 hours later. So the reality is speed to lead. You got to be quick. Myth number 2 is automation can replace human touch. It's simply not the case. Automated communication is important. The technology is important, but it cannot replace the human touch. The reality is automated emails are better than nothing, but they lack the personal connection that builds trust and keeps patient leads engaged. You've got to stop this automated, cold, non-personalized, non-contextual kind of communication. It's really hurting you. And the way to think about this is think about your own buying behavior. Just go through multiple instances where you've purchased a service or you've purchased a product and think through the best experiences you've had and how they're highly personalized, they're very intentional, oftentimes they're very prompt, back to that speed to lead. Remember, most prospective patients are unaware of you and your practice. It's not like they're coming to you with an immense amount of knowledge about who you are, what you do, and what their experience is going to be like. So the very first time you touch them in terms of communication, it needs to be personalized. It needs to be as robust and meaningful and as intentional as possible. And then you need to earn their trust by building an immediate personal connection. People can kind of just see right through really the non-personalized, non-intentional communication, and it's hurting your practice. Our system will reply, like I said earlier, within 60 seconds, 24/7. So we built out this incredible AI. We build a knowledge base very specific to your clinic. And so it's very personalized and it's contextualized to your clinic. And so this is an example of a new lead comes in, AI texts them within 60 seconds. You can notice the timestamp here. This is after hours. One interesting thing about our AI is 58% of the leads we're engaging this way are after hours. Which should be illuminating to you in terms of the behavior of your new patient leads. So it says, hey, is this Nicole? And Nicole answered, and we blurred that out obviously. And then yes, this is Nicole. Text is great. And so just the critical nature of how powerful speed to lead can be. Myth number 3: leads will wait if they're serious. Not true. They're not just researching you. They're looking for multiple opportunities to work with someone. They're doing their research. 30% of your leads will go to the competitor if you don't respond quickly enough. You're probably not the only practice the prospective patient is contacted. Assuredly, you're not. Again, this is a highly, highly competitive environment, and your ability to promptly communicate with them and get back to them and make them feel heard and make them feel like they matter is a major, major, major competitive advantage. Again, there's just some examples of our system communicating with the leads. 50% of leads will work with a clinic that contacts them first. And so again, not to beat a dead horse here, but the speed to lead, the personalized nature of communication, it really is a competitive advantage. This is a fun one. The system was doing its thing. We were replying very, very quickly. We said, is this Kyle? And he says, yes, this is Kyle. He goes, man, you guys are fast. And again, this is for your clinic. And so look at the impression that your brand, your clinic, the experience that you're creating for this potential new patient lead. Don't put the work on the patient. Lead them, guide them, do the hard work for them. This is another one of those silly kind of ones. It's like, hey, make sure you text or call us back. Well, this is an email. The new patient got an email, and the email's call to action is please text us or call us back. So not thoughtful, not intentional. I don't even know if they even read this. I mean, it's just really silly, the kinds of things you'll see in terms of patient follow-up. All right. Top reasons practices don't do this themselves. Impossible to do this manually. You need technology. And so you've got to leverage the power of the human touch with your staff alongside of technology, just so you can do the things that we've been walking you through here. They don't realize how much it costs to miss even one opportunity per week. If you start really looking into your practice and you look at your lead follow-up and you start realizing the number of leads that are, leaking through that bucket image we showed you earlier, the money that you're leaving on the table, the lost opportunity is immense. And you ought to really reflect on how much revenue is slipping through the cracks because of your follow-up. You don't have a full-time person in this role. As I mentioned, of all the clinics I've talked to, one has a dedicated team assigned to new patient follow-up. And so that might be something to consider for yourself. And then the last thing is the person in the role isn't the right fit. They don't use technology, not good on the phones, isn't willing to follow up 10 times for weeks, not organized. And again, to their credit, they're wearing 5 different hats. And so, this is not even practical, but it's one of the reasons why your new patient follow-up is so challenging. All right. So again, very glad that you've joined us. Hope this has been meaningful and helpful. More than happy to send you this slides. If you shoot me an email, kade@boostpatients.com, I'm happy to share this with you so you can see some of the examples I shared. You can dig into some of the myths a little bit deeper. Would love for you to share with us what part of the patient conversion system do you think you're really missing in your clinic. And so I'd love to hear from you. Here are a couple of success stories that you can see. If you want the slides, happy to send them to you. And like I said, just shoot us an email. Right here's my email, kade@boostpatients.com. All I have to do is put in the subject line PDFs, and I'll send you a copy of the book that walks through a lot of what we talked about in terms of the speed to lead component, but all the other components of the patient conversion system. We'll send you that book that walks through that. And then we'll also mystery shop your clinic. What we do is we'll mystery shop it. We wait 5 days. We document all of the responses that we get or don't get, and then we'll share that with you. So would love to do that on your behalf. But again, thank you for your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.